what's going on out there?
Tony, what the fuck is going on, dude? Tony.
As would say, I got to try to figure out this technical stuff, you know.
Can you hear me okay?
Yeah, I can hear you kind of coming in and out. Am I clear?
Yeah, dude, we hear you loud and clear, man.
Oh, well, very cool. Well, I hear you, and so, yeah, man. Hey, Zach, man, you are the cat, brother. You know, freaking, you know, when you're talking about, I was thinking about, you know, when Greg Taylor had, you know, introduced us, and, you know, on the first record, and I was like, man, I'll tell you what, man, you have been nothing but so supportive to Spillage for all of these years. You know, I mean, you know, so you're like part of the family, man, bro. That's just the way it is, right?
Dude, I'm a fucking fan, man. Fucking.
Well, it's great to have fans in the family. You know what I'm saying, bro?
Yeah, man. I love it, dude. I love it, man. Fucking, and you know, like I was saying, like I tell everybody, man. Last year, meeting you guys and seeing you guys live on the stage, it just, I mean, that blew it wide open. I mean, I was already a fan before that, but like that took it up a whole nother level, man. Because seeing the way you guys do it live on stage. You guys fucking, I mean, y'all know what the hell you're doing, man.
Oh, well, that's very kind words, but you know what? You know, it's not an accident. You know what I'm saying? You know, we put our time into it, you know, but as you know, like I said, we've spoken a number of times, is that, you know, we have our own approach, you know, of how we want to attack, you know, things. And so, you know, that's why I think it kind of separates us a little bit from a lot of the other bands in the industry. Not that we're better or worse for what it is. It's just, you know, different, you know. It's kind of like that Cheech and Chong thing. Hey, let's do the same but different. You know, we laugh about that all the time in rehearsal. But you know, with Spillage, you know, we're just you know, that heavy riff rock band. You know, and we're trying to create different melodies and create different sounds, and you know, and you know, so that's kind of like where it's at, right?
Oh yeah, for sure, man. I mean, every band that day was badass, but yeah. I just, you know, you guys definitely have your own thing going, and I remember whenever you guys were getting ready and the keyboard started playing that little intro thing, I looked over to my buddy and I was like, yeah, here comes the fucking doom, dude, get ready. And he was looking, and then you came out there with the guitar, dude, fucking just strung that first note, man. I was like, oh shit, man, this is yeah.
Yeah, well, I'll tell you, you know, like I said, you know, we're very gracious for you folks inviting us out there last year, and you know, we would have had tried to sign on for this year, but you know, I had, you know, how the economy is, you know, and I had all my stuff tied up into this record, you know, and so, and of course, we're not done with it yet. So my budget's already like, you know, that's what my wallet says when I open it. It goes, you know, but you know, but we have some cool things coming up, man. And so, you know, the record will be out September 8th. You know, of course, on Qumran Records and No Dust Records over in Europe, and we're real excited about it. We're real excited about the material, dude. You know, I think you know, as we continue to move forward, the band continues to gel, and like I said, you know, with all the sounds, you know, I think we're incorporating a lot of our, you know, different musical influences in this heavy type of groove, right?
Oh yeah. You know, it's interesting that you say as the band continues to gel, because, like, to my ears, man, you guys are gelled as fuck. But but yeah, I will say on this new record, because I've heard it and I've listened to it, man. You guys definitely are stepping out into a few different uncharted territories, and you're bringing some stuff in there that really, I mean, it's not totally uncharted, like it's already stuff that you've kind of hinted on before,
right? But
you're bringing it out a little bit more into the forefront, and it sounds great, man. Everything about the whole band sounds on fire, man. The vocals, man, I can tell, man. He's really pushing it even further on this one, and I'm blown away, man. I love it.
Well, I appreciate, again, those kind words. Well, Elvin, everybody loves Elvin. How can you not love that crazy guy with his smile? You know what I'm saying? He's always walking around like he's got like something up his sleeve, like, like there's something up, So, but he cracks me up, but he is a great vocalist, and we're very fortunate to have him. I've said this a number of times with different interviews, is that we knew his caliber of vocalists, as a singer. But what we didn't know when we brought him along is how great of a lyricist he is. He just crafts these beautiful melodies and stuff, and it's like, almost overnight too. I mean, it's like, and so, I feel we're pretty blessed with that crazy little Puerto Rican, I mean, I love the guy to death. Like I said, how could you can't? I mean, you look at his picture, he's always smiling,
And I'm half Puerto Rican too, by the way, so that's cool to me, man. Fucking
yeah, no, right on. Well, I always thought you and me were half brothers too, but hey, but you know what? You said something, Zach, and you were right on about this new record. We attacked this new record really vigorously. When Blood of Angels came out, we really got some really good, acclaim, overseas, and things were going really good. And then Electric Exorcist came out, and we as a band felt that the material was, right in line. We really felt that it was, really good material moving forward. We had a couple of epic tunes on there, and we took a little bit of a flack from that, with some of the critics. But Electric Exorcist, if it was the pandemic or whatever it was, it's in the past, So when we approached the Phase 4 record, we really approached it with an attack, and that's why I got into the producing part of this record, which I never did on the previous records, but I had a specific goal and sound in my mind that I felt, and even though I had Bruce Franklin, as my co-producer, as my safety net, we'll call him that, because that cat's just he's a legend, but so I had him, when I was unsure, and to help me through that, but I had this goal and this vision and this sound of how I wanted this record to be, and I think a little bit more keyboard, not dominant, but influenced, where it's a little bit more predominant in the mix. And so I really wanted to be all over that. And I think that, that we were able to create that type of a feel.
Yeah, definitely, man. I gotta rewind though, man. You just said fucking critics were fucking giving you guys shit about Electric Exorcist. Like, what the fuck? Really?
Yeah. Well, in Europe, that's our bigger market is in Europe, and they felt like Argos magazine. I think that's how you pronounce it. I'm not exactly Arshock, And then I'm not hacking on those cats. I've heard it from other people, but what we were experiencing is they said that it was like an extension of Blood of Angels. And, I guess kind of, but that's kind of like, again, I hate to refer to those wise men, Cheech and Chong, you know what I mean, all the time. But, that's the thing is that, here at Spillage, we're not trying to recreate the freaking wheel, you know what I mean? Yeah. But what we are trying to do is we're trying to create some awesome melodies with some things that are soft and comfortable, but that, like stir your lower regions, possibly. You know what I mean? You know what I'm saying, brother?
Yeah.
So, with that, when you mentioned, like that you heard the record, and I'm glad that you're digging it, brother. But, we did specifically look at this in a hard way, because we didn't want to have the third Spillages. This is just a continuation, So, when like the first track on Phase 4 is the song Phase 4, and it is a power metal riff rock type, because how I always talk about riff rock, right? So, I mean, it's a power, UFO, or, early UFO Judas Priest type of freaking, in your face riff rock song. And then the single that you're going to play a little later, Nail Biter, that's just a hard rock. It's just a hard rock groove tune. What do you think of Nail Biter?
Man, I love it, dude. I love it, man. It's everything to me. It's everything what Spillage is about. This is the next evolution of Spillage. I mean, but I think it's cool that you guys still. It still sounds like Spillage. I mean, I don't think that that's a bad thing to say, that your next record is a continuation of your last record either. That's crazy. Like, it kind of should be that way. That's what fans want. You know what I mean? Like, honestly.
Well, we heard that too. But the thing is with that is that Nick brought that song. That's a Nick song. Nail Biter's a Nick Bozadarvich tune, and he brought. It took me about 7 seconds, bro, to say that. This is totally like got to be our next single, because that is such a groove. It's such a fun song, and so it didn't take me a minute, but that's what I was saying. So so we're trying to change like tempos and styles a bit, and then like the move along that record. The third track on the first side is a song called Love and Alchemy, which is it's hard to describe because it's really big in sound, but that's like the first side doom song. It's like really, it's tuned down to like that A sharp. You know what I mean, right? So it's a lot of fun. And then, but see, so now we're doom. So now we've had, like a power metal riff rock, hard rock, now a doom, and then Demon Eye, which is, the last song on the record, which would be the middle song, of course, on the CD. That's going to be just a heavy metal, like in your face, upbeat type of tune, so, and it's another key. So we continue to change keys and, kind of different styles, but continuing within that Spillage style, like you were saying,
Yeah, so, for sure, man. And it's always catchy too. Like, you guys always have catchy songs, which is really cool. Like, that's what you want, man. It's like songs that stick in your head and you get an earworm from them, and like it just gets... Sure.
Yeah, well, yeah, no, I don't know about those earworms, because when we were producing it, it's like I'm like 3 o'clock in the morning. God, please help me go to sleep. I can't stay awake any longer. So,
it is cool, man. I mean, yeah, and like we're always. I mean, I know it's definitely we kind of the journalists and everything and everybody, we kind of pin you guys into the doom world, but
right.
I think definitely for the fans, there's a lot of people out there that listen to stuff like Trouble and The Obsessed and shit like that would gravitate towards this, but it's different from a lot of other bands that are in that genre, because you guys do have, like what you were saying, you have upbeat songs, you have the Judas Priest style type stuff in there mixed in with it too, like there's so many different elements. You mentioned UFO earlier too. That's another good point, because that's something that I did notice, especially on this record. There's a lot of I don't know, almost proggy type things being brought into there.
Yeah. Well, that's what I was going to get to, I mean, and that's why you and me are brothers from some kind of way, okay? Because, see, I only did the first side for you, so we went through those type of genres. So we're going to open up side 2 with a song called Rise of Machine, and that's all about AI and, all this crazy shit, that's going on. Dude, you got me. That's one. See, so every time I do an interview with Zach, you crack me up, so I try to do the opposite. I try not to ever say a swear word, because you're like, awesome, but you get me, so I'm doing my own game with you. You know what I'm saying? Inside game. But anyways, the song Rise of Machine is exactly what you just said, brother. It's tough to kind of put into category. Of course, it's a heavy riff, but it's a very technical type of keyboard, very keyboard influence, but a very proggy type of a tune, so that's going to open up the second side, so that's really cool. And if you can picture AI, well, you've seen it, you've heard it already, so you already got it, so, but then the song two on side 2 is Nothing to See, which is, I guess, how Spillage is. We always have some kind of a protestish type of, is that a word? Protestish? We have always something to kind of, we're thinking about. So that's what Nothing to See is, but that's kind of another just doomy sludge type of a tune, right? Isn't it?
Yeah. Fuck yeah, man.
Bruce Franklin sings backup on that. Bruce Franklin Trouble, who also co-produced that with me, he sings backup on the chorus on that. He's the high voice on that. Just so of a reference for you.
That is so cool, dude. That is
right. And then the fourth song, or the third song, I'm sorry, for side 2 is just a rock and roll tune, 11th Hour. I mean, we're at the 11th hour, and so right, and with the piano solo in the middle and everything. So again, we see how we're changing. I could continue the styles, and then we end the whole record with a song called Again, which is almost like the beginning. That's what we talk about in the chorus. It's really not the end; it's just the beginning, isn't it? So, and that's just a heavy blues tune, just Chicago heavy blues. Music. And so, and again, continually changing the keys and the styles, but all remaining within that Spillage type of groove, I feel, really, I'm really excited about this record, brother.
Man, yeah. Well, you should be, man, because it's good. I think it's definitely going to be it's going to be a good one for you guys, man. I also wanted to ask you. You just released a live record not too long ago, too, man. Can you tell us about that?
Well, the live record, I don't know. I don't have a lot of positive things to say about it. It was kind of, it was an adventure. And we had that goal, like I said, like we're old guys, and the freaking, so I had that goal. You know what I was thinking, Zach? I was thinking, Foghat Live, 77 or 78, freaking just a great live record. And, and the more I tried to force it to happen, the more it kind of had more issues. No, the all end of it, the production came out nicely, but we had big plans for that, and it kind of just didn't happen the way, there's like that funny saying, there's the way you want things to be, and then there's just the way it is. Right?
Yeah, so, I remember you telling me, like, you weren't really that happy with it, but like when we listened to it, we loved it, man. Fucking, and I got to tell you, like, a lot of the listeners, especially the people that come into the chat room, we play a lot of live music on the show, and awesome. We get into the stuff like that. Well, we love live records, man, because
I do too.
It takes you to that place, and
right.
Makes you remember. And when I was listening to it, it was taking me right back to the festival, man. It was making me feel like remembering those moments, and to me, it sounded great. I thought it was just.
Yeah. Well, you know what, dude? I appreciate that, and I love you, and and I have heard that too, and I may be my worst critic, but like I tell, like we're, all the guys, we're seasoned veterans, over here, and so I tell the guys, let's not get too excited about some of these, really good reviews, because at our age and our experience, we should kind of get those type of things, if it's not, then maybe we should start reconsidering, but one thing that's our solid foundation though, Zach, and I know that you love him too, is our freaking drummer, Chris the Big Man's Martin, the freaking world's largest garden gnome, you know what I mean, right?
Yeah.
He's got his own group called the Gnomies. Did you know that?
Yeah.
It freaks me out, it's like, so but anyways, but he's a complete knucklehead, but that's what makes him fit in with the band, I love him to death, but he never ceases to amaze me about his transitions and how he works on those type of things. It's got his performance on this record was just absolutely amazing, and really that's where the foundation is with that drummer, especially with the groove rock or riff rock band like we are, so I mean, and when I started Spillage, Chris was the first cat that I reached out to, about, I was still playing in Earth and Grave at that time. So I'm pretty fortunate to have that crazy, cat in my band too, so he's really besides, us staying within our foundations of trying to be that riff rock band, he's really been that foundation, that really solidifies that. So.
Oh yeah, man. Yeah, it's definitely and the groove is definitely there, and speaking of the live thing, man, I know I keep going back to that, but like
it's cool.
Seeing you guys live on the stage, man, your stage presence is a whole other aspect of it, like a live record is cool, but like, yeah, seeing you guys in action is a whole other thing, man. Like the way that you come out there and you're fucking holding your guitars up in the air and shit, and Elvin's walking around with the cross, fucking doing the exorcism thing and everything. Like, I loved that, man. I was like, yeah. Man, these guys are fucking like, they have. How do you guys do you guys plan stuff like that out? Like, is it choreographed?
Some of it is because I lose my balance and I almost fall over too. But no, some of it, yeah. No, to be fair, I'm not a BSer, bro. To be fair, yeah, we work on some things. However, Chris and I and Nick and everybody, we it's not just being tight. I love hearing the reviews when Spillage is tight as a gnat's ass, or I went and seen Spillage and they fucking took my head off. I love seeing those things. But the thing about being just tight musically is that the people come for a show too. There's a performance that's involved, and so we take that personally too. So not only are we, that's part of our show. We're changing keys, we're changing tempos, we're being knuckleheads, but yeah, we want to put on a performance for the audience as well. Just as when we were kids and we were, like cramming up there, like you know what I'm saying?
Yeah, so. Yeah. Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah, dude. I know, man. I remember standing there next to some of the other guys in some of the other bands, like Dave from the Red Mountain was standing next to me. Right. You guys were playing, and
cool band.
Yeah, man, and he was losing his shit watching you guys too, man. And I was like, man, like, I don't know, it was really cool, man. It's just you guys definitely have you have a cool thing, man. It's just you're Spillage, man. That's what it is.
Yeah, well, thanks, Zach. Like I said, there, like I said, what I could say, to be fair, is that there is a process. It just doesn't. It doesn't matter how many notes that you can throw out. A bazillion notes. Speaking of that, like Nick Bozdarvich, our lead guitar player. Everybody today, it's like everything's and then all these arpeggios and stuff. And don't get me wrong, I'm fascinated by the talent. You know what I'm saying? Yeah. I mean, I'm fascinated. I'm like, holy shit, how many fingers does that cat have? You know what I'm saying? But like Nick's, he's such a fantastic soloist as far as like how, he plays to what's for the song. You know what I mean? He's not trying to. It's not like saying, "Hey, whipping it out." Like, "Hey, look how big this is." You know what I mean? He's playing a solo melodically that contributes to the song, the overall quality of the song. And don't get me wrong, I like the shredding. But you see what I'm saying, Zach?
Yeah, and that makes me think too. Also about like just the way that you guys play together. Like it's not nobody's really trying to take over somebody else's spotlight. Like you guys all share it really equally, and you let everybody breathe. Like
right.
It's an all the whole thing together. Like you're one thing, and you're letting each person do their little thing, you know, and it all comes through, and it works, man.
Yeah, well, it's kind of like the Stooges, but there's 6 of us because we're all knuckleheads. You know what I'm saying? So, but yeah, no, I appreciate that, and that's why it's like I said, that's why I always appreciate you. You know, but you know, I mean, that's it. You know, I don't know. You know, I have my opinions, and the thing is they're just my opinions. You know, I mean, as far as musically, you know, in our band, the Spillage, you know, we all come from a variety of different backgrounds. I mean, you know, same backgrounds, but just, you know, our lives have taken us to, you know, just different areas. You know, like Paul, the keyboardist, you know, I mean, he's a teacher at a Catholic school here in Chicago, and he's a music teacher, you know, and he does all type of different compositions. He plays also in a jazz band, you know, and so at the end of Again, you heard that the very last solo is a horn solo. It's played on the keyboards, but you know, it's that, you know, but it's more of a jazzy type of a ending, you know, so he's just, you know, he's also the mad scientist. I don't know if you know that he's the character for Phase 4. They got the cover.
That's him.
That's him, dude. Yeah, I always referred to him in all of my other interviews as him as the mad scientist. So when we came up with Phase 4, it was a no-brainer. You know what I mean?
I can see that now. Now that I'm looking at it right now, I can see that totally.
Yeah. How funny is that? You know, the other thing is that, you know, he told Billy, Billy's the artist, our bass player, who's just fabulous artist. You know, I mean, he's done the Blood of Angels and Electric Exorcist and Phase 4 covers, and it's all comic book type of thing, all characters. You know, it's really exciting. But he told Billy when he seen the picture, he goes, "Billy, you just made me the coolest teacher in history." You know?
That's awesome, man. And that's really cool that you guys have the same guy doing your art too each time, and it does sort of transfer over each time because it is sort of like the same
it's the same but different, right?
Yeah. Like you know, like I mean, for all of us old fuckers that grew up listening to going and buying Iron Maiden records and stuff like that,
right?
You know, we knew what to kind of expect when we seen the album cover because it's going to be the same artist, just a different theme. But yeah, man, that's really cool, man.
Yeah. Well, you know, I feel very blessed to have these cats in my band, you know. I mean, and then the other thing is we, like, Billy, Nick, Chris, Paul, and we've all known each other, if you could believe this, for 40 years now. You know, I mean, you know, Elvin, you know, he's that crazy Puerto Rican cat I was talking about. You know, he's actually from Jersey. He lives outside of Philly right now. So, but, you know, he came in seamlessly. But, you know, Billy, for you know, not only is he a great artist, but, you know, I do have one thing that I wanted to say about how his performance was on this record, because I heard it directly from the studio cat, the engineer at Alpha Sound Studios, Doug where we recorded it, and I remember because I was there on all the tracks, you know, when we were doing everything. I didn't miss a minute, really. And he looked at Billy when we were going through our pre-production, and he says, "That's pretty aggressive bass playing you got going on there." He's like, "That's pretty ambitious, don't you think?" Because, you know, he's thinking about solid pocket, and then the funny thing about Billy's like, yeah.
Hey, well, it works, dude. It fucking works, man.
Yeah. So it's just funny. Like I said, Billy's another one of the, you know, knuckleheads. You know, it's like the coconuts and stuff. You know.
Speaking of studio and the production and everything, I got to ask you, man. Like, as far as your guitar tone, because that's a very prominent thing. In your records, man, what what kind of stuff are you? What kind of amps and guitars and speakers, stuff like that, man? What are you using?
Sure. Well, this is our 10-year anniversary, so things kind of change and evolve a little bit over the time. Now, to do technical, the first record, Nick and I both used. Well, actually, Nick, the first record I did all guitar rhythms. So, and we used Bruce Franklin's. It was his, 100-watt Marshall head. It was just this great sounding tube head. It was great. And then for Blood of Angels, I used. Blood of Angels, both Nick and I, that's when we started with the Black Stars. And the Black Stars, and we continue with both of those today. I'm sorry, but I had to make sure that I was accurate. But we continue with both of those today. I love them. Both Nick and I, about a year ago, we started looking at some other things. Because, when you're on tour, you're messing around, you hear other players, and you're like, wow, that's a great tone. Or so you want to go and check it out, and then I listen to what we have, and it's like, why do we want to change something that is so solid and firm, And so, but we're playing Black Stars, and we have probably now for the last 7 years.
Hell yeah, man! What kind of speakers are in your cabinets, man?
They're the vintage Celestians Marshall cabinets.
Hell yeah.
Yeah. See, the thing is that, even though Nick's a lead guitar player, so he's like got to have like a bazillion pedals and stuff like that. As I diverted from playing solos into more of a solid rhythm player, I continue to take things out of my chain, just to eliminate the extra nonsense. But the tone factor is a huge part of what Spillage is about, because when I was playing boogie equipment, it was very very versatile and live, fairly decent tones. I can't have nothing real negative to say about a boogie, except for when you record it, it becomes processed to me, and in the overall tone, dude, remember like when you put on a Trower record and you knew it was a freaking Trower record, or Frank Marino or something like that, because it was that tone factor, and so that's what I was really after with the Spillage thing, is I didn't want anything processed about it. I don't use a distortion pedal. I've taken so many things. I use a slight chorus, and then I have a wah pedal, and then I have a tuner, and there you go.
So you're not even boosting the amp. You're just going straight.
No. Overdriving. I'm just pushing the tubes. Yeah, it's just overdriven. But see, now Black Star is a extension, kind of, from my understanding, of the Marshall.
Yeah.
Family. So you're familiar with all that, right?
It was some of the guys that used to work for Marshall, I believe, that went on to start Black Star.
Exactly. No, exactly. So, and so Nick pulled one out, and we were demoing it, and just trying to get tunes, and he was playing. I was like, this is cool. So I went home and bought one, ordered it right away, and so but it's that body, it's that it's not just like the tuning that's low, it's the body, it's the the tube type of body tone.
Hell yeah.
The guitar players out there are going, yeah, man, I knew what that cat's talking about.
Yeah. So, do we know, man? Fucking
yeah, man. Yeah. So
I remember it was not too long ago. I remember on Facebook, I saw you were talking about going and checking out a 5150, I think.
Yeah, no, I demoed a few of them, actually, because we were jamming with this band that's on Qumran Records that I'm part of, and Carbellion. They just have a great new release. It's just power rock metal. It's really cool stuff. If you guys you get a chance, go check out Carbellion. If you're, they're upbeat, cool. But I was in the other room. We were doing a gig with them, and I was in the other room, and he was doing his line check, and I was like, dang, that tone is badass. So I go in there, and I was looking at it, and so I was like, when I get a time, I'll go demo one, and I did, and I'm not hacking on it, so but it wasn't for me. It didn't support what I was looking for.
It's funny how that is, like there is so many good amps and gear and stuff like that out there, but like it really does boil down to like what's good for you, like what you vibe with yourself personally when you play through it, what sounds good to your ear, you know what I mean?
Sure. Well, you know what I start with is I start with the clean tone, because if I can get good body with the clean tone, then I'm not going to get lost when I distort that, So, and that's where that comes to, So I always try to build a good clean tone. If I can't get a solid tone there, then, it's almost a waste of time.
Oh, yeah. All right.
I mean, unless you want to just play around for a bit, So.
Right. No doubt, man.
Right.
Well, so what else? What do you guys got to, I mean, like, what's coming up next for Spillage, man? Do you guys have anything you want to announce or anything like that?
Well, I'm not going to have a baby or anything like that, so I don't know about any announcements. But shoot, at my age, I don't know if anything works anymore. But here we go. So yeah, we do, we have a reunion, kind of not a reunion, but we're going home. Most of us are from West Chicago, here, Illinois, and so we've been fortunate to be asked to headline a show at their Railroad Days festival that's going on. So we have that coming up here June 23rd, and that's in West Chicago, Illinois. And then there's a festival that we're doing out in Oregon in Illinois. What is that called again?
0 Hour.
It's a 0 hour. A lot of cool, interesting stuff. That's a real versatile type of thing going on. And then also, we're experimenting a little bit with not just live shows, trying to do some things, digitally. So we're going to do a live stream, and that's going to be in July 8th, I think that's going to be. It's a Saturday. And it's going to be an afternoon, because, again, we want to still be able to attract the European audience. And that weekend, the reason why we're doing that is that we're also going to start filming the video for Phase 4, the video for the record. So to have that come out. And then Saturday? I can't see.
October 14th.
October 14th. Yeah. No. Saturday, October 14th. This is going to be a fun show here in Romeoville, Illinois. It's going to be Diggeth from Holland, and then Sacred Dawn's record release show. And then we're going to be opening the show. And so it's going to be like just massive, And then I have a couple things that are still in the works, but nothing's been solidified at the moment.
Hell yeah, man. Well, definitely get with me via email or something about that video, like when you guys plan on releasing that, so we can try to, if I have enough time ahead of time, might be able to get some fucking one of these bigger websites to premiere it or something like that for you guys, man.
No, I appreciate you, brother. There's this crazy, the crazy guy out there in Tennessee that's Metal Devastation Radio Cat that's been freaking promoting us up the ass, brother. And all I can say is that it's a good thing that you're not here, because I might have to give you a wet one right on the cheek. You know what I'm saying? So, because that's just the way I roll. That's just how it happens, So.
Hell yeah, dude. Hey, man, and you know what? I would love to see you guys at the festival next year, man, if we can make that happen. I don't know. We'll talk to you, dude.
Sure. Yeah, like I said, how things are right now. Like I said, economics and the record was real important to me. And, Zach, to be straightforward, because I'm not a bullshitter, is that everything's 30 to 40% that much more expensive up here in Chicago, bro. I mean, I right now am on like $2,700 to $3,000 over budget at the moment, and I still have other expenses. So, but however, I will say this is that I'm totally excited about everything. This is, like I said, our 10-year anniversary as a band. I couldn't be more excited, because I'm very fortunate to have these crazy freaking guys around me, So, and you too, because you're part of it. You and Trisha Mania over here, that's running the whole merch and my Amish computer skills, as Chris would say. So,
hey, it was great meeting you guys last year, man. And yeah, man. You know, well, I wanted to ask you, man, what kind of beer were you drinking at the festival, dude? When you walked up to me, the first thing you said was like, "Are we allowed to drink beer? Because I got some in this thing."
No, I'm trying to remember. What was the cup? Who was the band I got the cup from?
Oh, Forever Broken.
Forever Broken. That cup, because they were another really great band that you had at your thing there. I really liked them and Red Mountain were, well, not to say, your closing had, everything was great, okay? I'm not like trying to rate all the bands, but Forever Broken and Red Mountain were like kind of a couple of my favorites. But so I was out at Forever Broken. I was like, oh man, I really like that cup. I said, I'll tell you what, I'll give you 2 CDs and a couple stickers for that cup. They were bartering and stuff, and so, but it was just regular Colorado water beer, that Coors Light stuff. At my age, I got to watch my girlish figure. You know what I'm saying?
Right.
So, but yeah, no, that's what it is, but yeah, I still have that Forever Broken cup. I just sent a message to them about a month or so ago, telling them how much I really enjoyed those cats. So.
Hell yeah, man. Hell yeah. Well, I'm about out of questions for you, brother. Is there anything else you want to let the people know?
Well, no, I have a few questions for you. What the hell is going on over there? Why in the world haven't you called me lately? Let me see, what else can I say? Are you still got all your hair working there? Or are you blowing it on at night? I don't know.
Yeah, man, we're going, dude. We're all good, man.
No, I'm just hacking on you, Zach. I love you so much, man. And, I mean this sincerely, okay? I don't give a fuck who's listening. You are totally a part of Spillage, okay? You have been there, again, since 2015, that's when the first record came out. So, I have nothing but love and gracious to you and Raven, your wife, and your children. I love seeing the pictures of you and your family. And so, yeah, man, we'll talk about next year and everything in my power. I'll try to get our old lazy asses out there.
Hell yeah, man. I can't tell you how much I appreciate you saying all that. And I mean, I don't know, man.
Right on. Brother. Yeah, it's teamwork, bro. It's teamwork. It's just what it is. It's a tough business. And so sometimes you need to hear shit like that, right?
Yeah. Hell yeah, man. Well, we got to stick together, dude. We got
right on. Yep. All right, so you going to play any more Spillage tonight, or what's going on?
Oh, hell yeah. You already know, man. I'm fixing to play Nail Biter as soon as we get done with this, man.
All right. Hey, do me a favor, though, okay? It's not sold out that I might not just drop in and check out that festival just as a crazy person, because that's kind of the way I roll. I'm part of that Knucklehead Foundation that I mentioned about my band. So don't be surprised if you don't see me anyway.
I'll save you a spot at my table, man.
I appreciate that. Maybe some tacos or something like that, too.
Hell yeah, dude.
All right, brother. You go. Have a great show. Love you.
Hey, before I let you go, can I get you to make us another station tag?
Are you kidding me? I don't know how many. I'd like to hear one of them that I've done before. It's like, All right. Tell me when you're ready, Kat.
Say, whenever you're ready, say something like, "This is Tony from Spillage, and you're listening to Metal Devastation Radio."
All right, crazy fucker. All right. Hey, man, this is Tony Spillman with Spillage, and you're listening to the Metal Maniac, Zach, the motherfucking Moonshine on Metal Devastation Radio. Turn it up.
That's the best one ever, dude. Hell yeah.
I love you, brother.
All right, man. We'll talk to you later, dude.
Yeah, man. Peace.
Cheers. There you have it, folks. Spillage live on the Zach Moonshine Show with Metal Devastation motherfucking radio. Like I said earlier, put your speakers in your windows, put them in your front lawns, put them in your neighbor's driveway. If you got speaker cables long enough, drag your speakers out into the yard, carry them into the house next door to you, and blast your stereo system as loud as you possibly can until those motherfuckers look at you and say, I'm calling U-Haul or I'm calling the cops, and then you need to get the fuck out of there. Crank the fuck up. This is brand new Spillage Nail Biter. Bite your fucking nails, motherfuckers.